So after 2 years at UBS, you quit your job and decided to move to India. Can you just quickly maybe recollect your thought process? How did you arrive at the decision, and then multiple decisions simultaneously? Quitting your job, starting as an entrepreneur, moving back to India. Like, what is just how long did you think about it for a long period of time, or does the decision were able to take fairly quickly?
So basically, look, the thought process was going on since I started banking, because I was constantly thinking, because we had done this business plan, I'd moved temporarily for 2-3 months.
Right.
So I thought this journey is going to be a lot more exciting. And I kept missing that insights that I was looking into business. So basically, look, banking was fun, but I was constantly going back to this. And that's my learning. Look, whatever you do, that 100% commitment is extremely required. Otherwise, you just can't sustain. So basically kept talking to people. And then then I realized when Siddharth was born, we just realized that basically it's going to be difficult year on year.
Right.
And my wife was also going through business school. So basically we were like, let's just flush this out of the system. And I was friends with Prashant, who was also looking to move back to India.
Right.
And that is where basically found the co-founder that I was looking for. And then basically we said, like, he was committed to move and I was looking to move. And basically just timing worked out. I was like, let's just pull the plug. Let's give it a shot. Let's flush it out. Otherwise, had the pedigree to basically find a job.
And you guys had the clarity about what you wanted to start, or you wanted more clarity about start करना के बाद में देखेंगे?
So basically, Prashant was working at McKinsey at that point of time, and he was part of the healthcare practice. I had mostly worked in tech and even in financial services, mostly focused on tech companies. So basically, we just decided we'll do something in health and tech. That was about it. And typically, like a consulting or a banking, the paper was absolutely on the plan was absolutely on the paper. And we'll do this, so many things, and we had no resources. We were just putting our own savings onto it, right? So basically, plan was on paper, but we knew that we'll do something in health and tech. And we started with a model which was basically creating a software platform for physicians, and eventually we wanted to plug in online pharmacies.
Right.
So that is how we started, and it kind of morphed.
So you had a banking business school background. So Prashant, did you guys have reasonable understanding of TAM and how big this can be, or so on, or it was more of a idea that you guys liked?
So obviously everything was on paper. Even in banks, we used to basically write these. So I was part of some of these IPO processes where you do these S1 drafting. So you talk about this TAM and all this, but this is such a top-down approach, which in my view is actually relevant for a lot of startups. Because ultimately it comes down to bottoms-up approach in terms of how many customers will use your product and all that. So we had this because we had done business plans in business school also. So there was no challenge on defining that TAM. And you could make up, position the idea, because we always knew that, look, health and tech at a high level will become big and was always big. But if you wanted to take a, online view of things, it could be small, but eventually the problem was in general big. So that was the...
So you were convinced the market size, because the reason I'm asking is, even today, I think, building a software platform for doctors, I think market is still very, very tiny.
Yeah.
Right. So was it like, was your analysis like way off the mark?
Yeah. So I would say it was theoretical, because look, frankly speaking, when we moved back, and you would have known the same thing, in 2009, there were no smartphones.
Right.
There was no internet adoption. So I'll tell you the story. So we started this, and we were down the trenches, like in US, we were like, flying business class and all this, like completely ground पे तुम घड़ी की चाय पी रहे हो, बिल्कुल डॉक्टर के केबिन में जाके बैठ रहे हो, right? तो बिल्कुल उधर चले गए. So basically there was no smartphones, there was no computer usage even. तो बेसिकली हमने डॉक्टर को कन्विंस किया कि यार ये यूज़ करो, ये करो. तो पहले तो डॉक्टर के केबिन में बैठे हैं, वहाँ पे लोग आ रहे हैं, जा रहे हैं, तो आप वहाँ देख रहे हो कि कैसे काम कर रहा है. फिर बेसिकली हमने एक आध डॉक्टर को कन्विंस करके उसको बोला कि बोलता आप लैपटॉप भी हमारे लिए ले आके दे दो, उसको सॉफ्टवेयर के दे. तो हमने पूरा लैपटॉप खरीद के उसके अंदर सॉफ्टवेयर लगा के उसको दे दिया, आप यूज़ करो. फिर क्या हुआ कि ये डॉक्टर बिल्कुल मतलब बिजी पार्ट ऑफ दिल्ली में था इनकी प्रैक्टिस, और हम दूर रहते थे. तो वो बिल्कुल एकदम से फोन आता था, अरे यार लैपटॉप चल नहीं रहा तो बेसिकली हम वहाँ पे 1 घंटा ड्राइव करके उधर जाते थे, बोलते बताओ यार क्या हुआ, तो कभी कोई इसका नेटवर्क, कभी इंटरनेट नहीं चल रहा, वो नहीं चल रहा, तो बेसिकली दैट वाज अ टाइम, देयर वाज नो स्मार्टफोन यूसेज, देयर वाज नो रियल adoption of internet at that point of time. So while our plan was on paper, but the reality was the curve was still, the critical mass was just not there. So basically there was a disconnect in terms of how we were thinking and what was the ground reality.
This reminds me of a similar story, I think 2007-8. So we were trying to raise money, etc. for Myntra and go to a lot of these wealthy individuals. I'm not going to name that person, but we met one such person and we explained कि सर हम ऐसे ऑनलाइन पे बेचेंगे, लोग वेबसाइट पे आएंगे, कार्ट में ऐड करके ऑर्डर कर देंगे, फिर उसके घर पे सामान पहुंच जाएगा. तो उन्होंने पूछा कि पेमेंट कैसे होगी, पेमेंट क्रेडिट कार्ड के थ्रू होगी. तो ये पुल्ड आउट ही हैड अ डेस्कटॉप एंड ही पुल्ड आउट हिज क्रेडिट कार्ड कि ये कंप्यूटर में कहाँ पे डालोगे क्रेडिट कार्ड पेमेंट करने के लिए. But he did give us money. So that's those are early days of e-commerce. Fortunately changed few years down the line. And so cool. So you moved and you and Prashant moved back. So you were two co-founders.
Yeah, we were two co-founders.
And how did first few years went for you guys?
So I think, look, one thing that really worked for us is, look, we moved here in 2009 and we started working on this. And we both had the pedigrees, and obviously, like, we got out of our comfort zone. We were practically working out of, my friend's place. एक डाइनिंग टेबल पे 3 लोग बैठे हुए हैं और फिर कोई डिलीवरी भी कर रहा है तो मैं गाड़ी पे जाके खुद ही डिलीवर कर देता. तो बेसिकली इट वाज लाइक डाउन द ट्रेंचेस, बट ऑब्वियसली द बिजनेस वाज नॉट गोइंग एनीवेयर. And we had spent almost a year and a half iterating through this. And थोड़ा साइड में फिर कंसल्टिंग भी करना चालू कर दिया कि यार थोड़ा सा कैश रिजर्व भी कम हो गए थे. So, but one thing that really worked for us is both of us were super committed. We never looked for any other opportunities. There was a lot of temptation.
Right.
कि यार, and look, everyone was wondering कि हो क्या रहा है, इतने टाइम US में रह के आ रहे हैं, अच्छी बिजनेस स्कूल पे जा चुके हैं. In fact, one of my family members thought कि nobody was able to gather कि यार ये अच्छा खासा बैंक में काम कर यहाँ पे क्यों आके क्या कर रहा है. तो किसी को लगा कि मैं इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक करता था. किसी ने बोला कि somebody really truly a well-wisher said कि यार एक बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा में किया है, इसको देख लो कि तो मैंने बोला नहीं अभी मैं नहीं देखूंगा, थोड़ा टाइम बाद देख लेंगे. तो basically the good thing is we never looked for any opportunities and we were committed to iterating and finding something.
Right.
And look, basically 1.5 साल हो गया था and I was always excited about the next new thing.
Right.
कभी दिवाली मेले में जाके हम कुछ वो लगा रहे हैं और
Fruit salad.
Basically we got somehow I lost the bigger picture in terms of what we came for, but we were committed. We kept iterating and I distinctly remember almost 1.25 साल हो चुका था and पहले बिजनेस स्कूल के जो फ्रेंड्स थे वो बोलते अरे यार तू सही कर रहा है, दिस इज द ड्रीम कम ट्रू, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कर रहा है. बट वेरी क्विकली यू रियलाइज कि 1 साल में लोग वेकेशन पे घूम रहे हैं यहाँ पे और जो तुम्हारा ड्रीम कम ट्रू है वो बेसिकली तुम्हारा प्रोफेशन है. तो आपको उसमें सक्सीड होना ही है. तो उसने किसी एक बहुत ही अच्छा दोस्त है उसने मुझे बताया था यार कि आई वॉज अगेन एक्साइटेड कि यार मैंने ये कर रहा हूँ. तू सोच ले एक बार कि अब 1.5 साल हो गया है एंड यू शुड रियली गेज प्रॉपरली कि कहीं जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा है. तो फिर उसके बाद बेसिकली फॉर्चुनेटली वी केप्ट आइट्रेटिंग एंड वी जस्ट थॉट कि बेसिकली आवर मॉडल वाज टू कॉम्प्लेक्स. वी वर ट्राइंग टू गो थ्रू डॉक्टर्स एंड ट्राइंग टू गो टू द कस्टमर. वी वर लाइक लेट्स जस्ट सिंप्लीफाई. ई-कॉमर्स वाज बिगिनिंग टू हैपन. फ्लिपकार्ट वाज टेकिंग ऑफ. So we were like, let's just take a vertical current, nuanced enough space that we can find our own brand. तो हमने उसको simplify कर दिया. तो फिर we just got some initial seed capital. और एक बार आपके पास seed capital आ जाए तो आपकी obligation मिल जाती है उसको capital वापस कर दिए. तो basically that kept us going on. So basically it was like a little bit of a journey to get to start the company.
Before you guys arrived at the eventual model of 1mg, which is selling medicines online.
Yeah.
From day one till how many years did it take for you guys to arrive at that point?
So basically, we came in, we moved to India in November of 2009. So 1.5 years to basically simplify the model and incorporate HealthKart as an online pharmacy model.
Right.
And then basically because of regulations, we could not do medicines to begin with. So we thought we will build a brand, and at some point we will add the medicines to this. So we added all the other categories that are typical chemistry. So baby care products, so, all the FMCG products and all that, including nutrition. And we started selling online, and we thought we'll just come to medicine at some point.
So it's about 18 to 24 month journey of tinkering with a lot of things, trying various things, which is very typical. That's the other thing. I think a lot of people wait for super clarity कि एक बार जब idea चमक जाएगा तब चालू करेंगे.
But वो बहुत बड़ी fallacy है मेरे हिसाब से. Look, you have to start and you have to learn, but you have to pick that area which you're passionate about. Otherwise वो बिना iteration की just there's no magical moment कि यार एकदम से बन चमकेगा, ऐसा नहीं होने वाला.